Abby Sunderland stands out from most young women. While other girls her age might worry about their outfits for school, Abby embarked on a record-breaking sailing adventure around the world as a teenager in 2010. Throughout her journey, she encountered both breathtaking moments and significant challenges. 8 years after completing her voyage, she received an unexpected phone call. In 2010, 16-year-old Abby Sunderland embarked on a remarkable journey to achieve what no one her age had ever done, sailing solo around the world. Coming from a family of sailors, Abby was inspired by her brother Zach, who had become the first person under 18 to complete the circumnavigation the previous year. Despite having a supportive family and a role model in Zach, Abby faced a daunting challenge. She had dreamed of setting this record for as long as she could remember, and by age 16, she had already accumulated hundreds of hours on the water with her family. Her father, Lawrence Sunderland, provided her with rigorous training, preparing her for the harsh realities of the sea. He understood the potential dangers she would face and emphasized the importance of being well prepared. Abby's mother, Marianne, acknowledged the risks, stating, "Could there be a tragedy? Yeah, there could be. But there could be a tragedy on the way home tonight, driving with her friends in the car." With their support, Abby began planning her trip, determined to make her parents proud. Her vessel, Wild Eyes, was a 40-foot sloop designed by Judson Yacht for Southern Ocean sailing. Previously named BTC Velocity, it had finished second in the Class 3 category of the Around Alone 2002 race. The Sunderland family purchased the boat in 2009 and refitted it in Marina del Rey, California, equipping it with new communication and navigation systems, ready for Abby's ambitious adventure. The route that Abby planned to sail began in Marina del Rey, California, then to Cape Horn, Cape of Good Hope, Cape Lewin, and back to Marina del Rey. The goal was to complete the circumnavigation with a series of 10 legs, all solo and unassisted, following definitions set by the International Sailing Federation World Sailing Speed Record Council. According to them, the equator must be crossed for the trip to count as a full circumnavigation. Not only did Abby need to be aware of all the weather coming her way to avoid disaster, but there were also pirates roaming the seas. However, there was little she could do to prepare for the possibility of encountering a ship of violent criminals. Abby admitted she was definitely nervous, but her fears wouldn't hold her back. Then, on January 23, 2010, she boarded her ship, Wild Eyes, and set sail from Marina del Rey, California. Almost immediately after setting sail, Abby realized just how serious the situation she was up against was. Even though she had plenty of experience on the open ocean, being by herself presented a whole new set of problems. In an interview that took place over 100 days after she first set out, Abby admitted that a massive wave struck her ship at one point and that the wind was becoming an increasing problem. Sail World took note of Abby's departure time, stating, "Well, she will round the Horn in the height of summer when conditions could be the best they can be. Her delayed departure means that by the time she sails south of Australia, the weather will be approaching autumn and the conditions will be deteriorating." However, even after being warned about the weather, Abby felt that it was too late to back out at this point. At one point, howling gusts of wind ripped through one of her sails and water flooded the engine. Luckily for Abby, she was able to handle both problems, but Wild Eyes was taking some serious damage. Although Abby was disappointed, she was eventually forced to give up when she knew that all hope was lost. She activated her emergency beacon, and French and Australian search and rescue authorities came to her aid. Fortunately, she had all the supplies in case they couldn't reach her immediately. On the morning of June 10, 2010, Abby was sailing in high winds and suffered multiple knockdowns in a remote area of the Indian Ocean, around 2,000 miles west of Australia. Abby then lost satellite phone contact. The nearest known position was about 400 miles away from her electronically reported location. Her beacon position at the time was published as 40 degrees 48 minutes 0 seconds south, 74 degrees 58 minutes 0 seconds east, around 2,000 nautical miles west-southwest of Perth. The following morning, the Australian Maritime Safety Authority sent a chartered passenger jet to the area with 11 trained SES air observers and an FESA officer on board. The plane had a 4,700-mile round trip from Perth to Abby's boat, which was almost too far for the crew to reach. Brief radio contact was made with Abby, who said that she had righted the boat and was uninjured. Abby's mother said that the pilot of the search plane told her that the boat had most likely been hit by a rogue wave. The area where Abby was found is seldom visited by merchant ships or other sea traffic, prompting the Australian Maritime Safety Authority's Rescue Coordination Center to send 3 vessels to the scene. On the afternoon of June 12, 2010, Abby was rescued by the French commercial fishing boat Le de la Réunion. However, the rescue was not without complications. It occurred during rough seas, and the captain of the fishing vessel fell overboard and had to be rescued as well. Her parents reassured her followers, stating, "Abby has a dry suit, survival suit, life raft, and ditch bags with emergency supplies. If she can hang on and keep warm, help will be there as soon as possible." After a tense 13 hours, rescue teams finally reached Wild Eyes. Although the boat was upright, its rigging was in disarray. Abby was taken to a nearby island where she received a warm welcome. Unfortunately, the rescue mission was costly, estimated at around 300,000 Australian dollars, which was covered by French and Australian taxpayers. The Australian government confirmed that neither Abby nor her family would be billed for the expenses, leading to criticism of Abby's team for not contributing financially. To Abby's shock, her brother Zach was waiting on the island for her. Not only did he fly to Reunion Island to commend her for her bravery, but he also brought her much-needed supplies like fresh clothes and a hairbrush. Now it was time to go back to California. While Abby was happy to be back on land and out of the grip of the ocean, she missed the memories such as racing along, surfing down giant swells, and sitting on the deck watching the sunset. Of course, Abby's parents, Lawrence and Marianne, felt sorry that their daughter had to give up on her dreams. However, they were just relieved that Abby hadn't been badly injured. Unfortunately, the same couldn't be said for her ship, Wild Eyes, which she was forced to abandon at sea. The ship had been through so much that it was left floating in the ocean, a decision that the rescuers were forced to make. Abby assumed her boat was long gone. 8 years later, the Sunderland family was contacted by authorities after a tuna-spotting aircraft discovered a yellow yacht flipped upside down off the coast of Kangaroo Island, Australia. When towed in, the boat's name was revealed to be Abby's Wild Eyes. Oceanographer David Griffin theorized that the yacht may have circumnavigated the globe during those years. While Abby did not complete her journey, her boat certainly did. Following Abby's rescue, the New York Post reported that her father had signed a deal with Magnetic Entertainment for a television show about their family titled Adventures in Sunderland. He mentioned that the show could focus on family dynamics or Abby's trip, but the project ultimately did not materialize. The family later clarified on their blog that there was no reality show or documentary in the works. However, Abby became the subject of a documentary directed by her father, titled Wild Eyes: The Abby Sunderland Story, released on September 8, 2011. Additionally, she co-authored a book with Lynn Vincent, Unsinkable, a young woman's courageous battle on the high seas, which was published on April 12, 2011, leading to a nationwide book tour. Remarkably, Abby traveled 12,000 miles before she had to be rescued, which is an impressive achievement. Luckily, her emergency beacon worked. If it hadn't, she might have faced a fate like the 2 women on the Sea Nymph. Now, Abby lives in Centerville, Alabama, with her husband, Justin T. Sims, who is a U.S. Navy sailor. Together, they have 3 children and are expecting another one soon.